Hey, how's it going? This is Melinda and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat when it comes to buying records, because lately I have been very lucky finding cool stuff at antique stores. But I've also suffered a major, I wouldn't call it a setback. It was a disappointment because it was a record I've been looking for a long time. And, I beat myself up when I make mistakes. And this one is a biggie. Maybe you've ran into the same situation that I have. So before I get started talking about my antique store finds, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. It really does help me out a lot, and I thank you so much for your support. And let me show you a record that I received a few months ago from a musician, singer, songwriter, performer. He's really nice. He did not ask me to show this on my channel. He just knew I loved vinyl records and wanted to send this my way. This is God Save the City by Brad Brooks. And I'm really impressed with this album, and I had never heard it before, so I've had it for a while. Anytime I receive something new and I'm not familiar with it at all, I really do love to take my time with it and listen to it several times. And I have with this one. And it's so good, and Brad Brooks is so impressive. He's had such an interesting story. He is a throat cancer survivor, and you wouldn't even know it based on his vocals. He's a great singer, just really good and very talented, and he's been doing music his whole life. And this is a wonderful record. It's called God Save the City. It's not a Christian record, but it's just got some really great stuff on here. We start out with this, God Save the City, a really great rocker. The last song on side one, and they call it on here the soul side, there's a beautiful ballad called Millionaires. And it's one of those songs that if you get it in your head, you will think about it the rest of the day. I kind of think of his voice, I would say it's a lot like Daryl Hall. He's got a really good voice, and then he can also do really good falsetto, kind of the way Daryl Hall does. I've just found it very impressive. Also, I think for me on the second side, he calls it the roll side, Angle of Angels is probably my favorite song on here. Do the Same for Me is beautiful. This is just a really great record, and I was so thrilled he sent it my way. And it took several listens. I liked it immediately, but for me to really form an impression on something, I have to hear it several times. And it's on a really beautiful purple vinyl. You can check out his story and his music on Bandcamp. You can also find the song God Save the City on YouTube. So I really appreciate that he sent that my way. He's got a great story. He's a very talented Brad Brooks, God Save the City. And now I want to show you some finds. The first few I'm going to show are ones that my husband found when he was out of town. And I was really thrilled that he thought of me enough when he went to antique stores. He saw a few things he knew I'd been looking for, and he picked them up. I was really shocked. Also, while he was out, he went to Rockford, Illinois, and he stopped in Toad Hall Books and Records, and he got to meet Nick. And man, I wish I was there. He said that Toad Hall Books and Records is a huge store, has about anything you could ever want in it, and maybe someday I'll get to go there. In the meantime, he did go to an antique store, and look what he found for me. These are original REM records. This one is Chronic Town. This is more like an EP. Very cool on this IRS label. Very clean and beautiful copies from antique stores. And I would say when it comes to antique stores, for me, what the secret is, if you go to an antique store and you see a booth that has a lot of different things and also a few records, that's where you're going to get the good deals. Usually when it's a booth and they specialize in records, they know what they have, they price them accordingly. Every once in a while you can still find a good deal in those booths, and you can still find great stuff. But it tends to be when I go into a booth, or my husband go and see a few records there, they might not know how to price them properly, so they make a guess. $10 here, $5 there. That's kind of where I find my deals. Here's the next one my husband found, REM's Murmur. And I really love this earlier REM jangly pop. I think it's really good. Again, on the IRS label, beautiful condition. And the covers look like new. The inner sleeves don't have any seam splits. They look fantastic as well. This is the one that probably excited me the most. REM, this is Document, a really, really good one too. I have wonderful memories, just a specific memory of hearing the song, The One I Love. I was with a few friends. We were on our way to see Kiss in concert. It was the Crazy Nights tour. I remember on the way there hearing the song, The One I Love, several times on the radio. And it was just a really good, moody kind of song. I've just always loved it. I love REM, and I only had a greatest hits compilation in my collection, so now I have the early stuff and I love it. Here's another one that I thought was a very cool find from an antique store, you guys. This is Hellbent for Leather by Judas Priest, and it is a promo copy. And you know what? This is a pretty good record. I don't have a ton of Judas Priest. I still need British Steel. That's really the one I still want. It has the gold stamp, and it's also a white label promo. I would say this is a good record, but British Steel is better in my opinion. So I'm hoping to find that one at some point. But I love having a white label promo from Judas Priest. That's very cool. Now this next one, this is my nerd one. I'm just going to show it, and you all can make fun of me all you want to in the comments. I'm a big girl. I can take it. This was sealed. And it has a really cool hype sticker, and it was just a few bucks. So, okay, do I really need to say anything else? I couldn't resist, you guys. So, enough said. Electric Youth by Debbie Gibson, still sealed and original. Now, this next record is really cool, and it's 66 years old. It came out in 1955, and it looks gorgeous. This is Brubeck Time. And it's just in really nice, clean condition. Especially the vinyl looks fantastic. I really love the 6i Columbia label. And just look at the luster. This wasn't played very often, and it looks fantastic. So, of course, that one is a great one to add to the collection. Super cheap from an antique store. This is an upgrade copy for me of Def Leppard's Pyromania. Let me take it out of the sleeve. I mean, it's just super clean, original. And I have one. It's not in nearly the condition of cover-wise. It plays good, but I just thought for the cover looking so good, and it was really cheap. Also, another thing I thought was really interesting about this one is look at the Mercury label. It's the Skyscraper label, kind of like the Rush albums. The one I had, other than this one, is on a black Mercury label. It says Mercury, has some red on it. So that was a little different. And anyway, for a few bucks, I was able to get a really clean copy of Def Leppard's Pyromania. This record really excited me. I am so excited to have this one. The Bridge by Sonny Rollins. And this is a German pressing, so we've got a thin cover. But I love this. It says it costs $2.35 at some point. I love Sonny Rollins, and I'm partial to the tenor saxophone because I played a tenor saxophone back in high school. I know what a hard instrument it is to play, and of course I was nothing like Sonny Rollins, but I was pretty good for where I was. When I was a sophomore through my senior year, I always sat front seat. I was the first chair. And back in the day, I had to memorize songs because I was in the marching band. Had to memorize songs like Love for Sale, which was probably the hardest song to learn. It's a very popular jazz song. Also learned Stardust, had it by memory as well. And so I really appreciate a tenor saxophone player. I'm partial. And I also was selected for our jazz band back in high school. So this is a clean, Beautiful copy. Like I said, it's a German pressing. I found this at an antique store. It's beautiful, in great condition. Look at that. Now it is German. It says it has the GEMA here on here. And also it is missing Nipper the dog like the US pressings do. But it does sound fantastic. So I love having that one in the collection. This to me was something that was so exciting. You all know I'm a huge Kiss fan, and I found something that's really hard to find now. Just a few years ago, they might have been easy to find, but this is now hard. This is Kiss Alive 2. And what's really cool about it is, for one, it's in very clean condition. Kiss records, you know, kids bought them, they played them to death, they took them to school. I remember being in grade school and seeing a friend of mine bringing Love Gun every day because we were allowed to play it at recess. This is a very clean copy with probably one of the best gatefolds of all time, in my opinion. That I would have loved to have seen that happen in concert. This picture of Gene Simmons scared me to the core when I was a kid, but you know, of course, it's super cool. And the vinyl is super clean. It is not the misprint copy. There is a misprint copy that has songs like Do You Love Me on it, which are not on these albums. You know, if you have the misprint copy, you're really talking about a lot of money. But these are very clean, beautiful copies from an antique store. And what else is really cool about it is we've got these inner sleeves that look nearly brand new. They just look fantastic, you guys. You rarely see these without any seam splits. Also, the beautiful booklet that came with it. It's intact. It wasn't messed with. It just stayed in. It just looks like it stayed in the cover. So I really love having a beautiful booklet. I'm missing the insert. I still need it, but this is so exciting. It still had the tattoos in it. You know, I remember being a kid and getting Cracker Jack boxes and having the tattoo in there. I always put the tattoo on. I loved those little tattoos. So can you imagine being a Kiss fan and just leaving this in the album cover? No, no one did that. Everybody put them all over and used them. So I am really thrilled because it's so hard to find these with the tattoos still intact. And now I want to talk to you about what I think is an epic fail and made a huge mistake. It is a record that I've been wanting for so long, and anytime I see it, it is in terrible condition. The record is always scratched up, and it's such a beautiful record, something I've been wanting in my collection, and I found a copy of it in an antique store for $12. What am I talking about? Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Deja Vu. And I was stunned to see one of these in such beautiful condition. I never see it looking this good. I was so excited. My heart started pounding. I thought $12 was a pretty good deal. It's a beautiful record. I love the harmonies. Just some really great music on here. And so I took a deep breath, kind of held my breath. I was like, oh, the vinyl, please look good, please look good. The vinyl was stunning. There wasn't anything at all to make me nervous. And I've been buying vinyl for a little while. I kind of know what to look for. I looked at this over and over again, and I was so excited. You know, the song by Survivor went through my mind. The search is over, you know. I was so excited. I've been wanting this for so long, you guys, and I got it home. I cleaned all of these records because they were from an antique store, especially. They were extremely dirty. And of course, I used the beautiful vinyl vac. It does a great job. It cleans my records. If you're interested in having a deep cleaning, wet vac that will just really get in there and clean those grooves, I highly recommend the vinyl vac. And if you spend $19.97 or more using the vinyl vac's website, use code Melinda, my first name, and you'll get 10% off a purchase of $19.97 and up. So anyway, I used it for all these wonderful records and got amazing results. Used it for this record. But you know what? I got something that I can only say was a lemon. It skips. It doesn't show anywhere on the record that there should be a skip or a spot. It just looks great, and yet it plays terribly. Now I know why the cover is so clean and why the vinyl's so clean. This record has probably had 25 or 30 owners, and they play it, it skips. You know, it's unplayable because it skips so often that they just put it back together and probably just get rid of it and send it off to the next sucker. And guess what? I was the next sucker. I was the next one to buy this record. I'm taking it out of circulation. No one else will fall victim to this particular record again. Hopefully I will someday find another beautiful copy of that record. My heart is sick. I'm back to the drawing board. Has this ever happened to you all before, where you bought a record, it looked perfect, it looked like there shouldn't be anything wrong with it, and yet there was a lot of problems, skips, a lot of crackles, whatever it was? Please share that with me in the comments below, because I really beat myself up when I make such mistakes like this. Even though it happens, and I don't know of anything else I could have done, I just hate wasting money like that and buying something and then feeling like a fool. So let me know in the comments, and please subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.